Picture this for a second. You're sitting somewhere, I don't know, incredible, maybe the south of France, maybe a quiet cabin somewhere, or yeah, even that classic beach, and you're actually running your business. Laptop out, phone nearby, handling everything. Sounds a bit like a daydream, right?
Oh, absolutely. For the longest time, it really was just that, the idea of, escaping the typical office. It felt impossible for most small business owners, sole proprietors especially, just tangled up in physical paper, software stuck on one machine.
Right. The logistics alone seemed like a nightmare. But what's really interesting, looking at the sources we've been digging into, articles, research, notes, is that this dream, it's actually becoming, well, pretty practical for a lot of entrepreneurs now.
Yeah, and it's largely down to these big steps forward in cloud-based tools, specifically accounting and sales tools getting really good and widely adopted.
So, our mission for this deep dive is basically to cut through all that and unpack what our sources are telling us. We want to pull out the key stuff, the how it works, the specific tools involved, the why, like the real benefits, and also the buts, the challenges. It's really about getting you up to speed quickly on how this whole portable office idea isn't just some fantasy, but maybe a real business model you could actually use.
Exactly. Get ready for maybe a few aha moments. We're going to look at the actual tech stack, the tools making it happen, check out some real-life examples, people actually doing this, weigh the big perks, like flexibility, saving money, and also, how to deal with potential issues like dodgy internet or security worries.
Okay, let's dig in then. What's the foundation here? How do you even start untethering from a physical office?
It all starts with the cloud. Cloud-based tools. That's the fundamental shift. Forget needing, servers humming away in a closet or software that only lives on your office desktop. Cloud apps, they live online. Hosted somewhere else, you just access them through your web browser or maybe a dedicated app.
And the magic is just needing the internet and, well, a laptop or phone.
That's pretty much it. That's the key. Got an internet connection, got your device, laptop, tablet, smartphone. You can get to your business stuff from anywhere. It just completely removes the need for that physical infrastructure tied to one spot.
Okay, so the cloud is the base layer. What are the all-star tools the sources keep pointing to for running a business remotely?
Well, the sources consistently highlight two main types, two pillars for this kind of remote toolkit: cloud accounting software and cloud CRM. CRM being customer relationship management.
Right. Let's tackle the money side first. Cloud accounting, any specific names popping up?
Yeah, the big ones you hear about again and again are QuickBooks Online and Xero. They're basically the online, accessible, anywhere versions of the accounting software people might already know.
And what do they let you do from, say, that beach? What are the core functions?
Pretty much the whole 9 yards for accounting. Sending invoices, tracking expenses, running your key financial reports, P&L, cash flow, all that stuff. The huge difference is you're doing it all online, logged in from wherever.
And do they have features that specifically make remote life easier, like getting rid of boring data entry?
Oh, absolutely. That's where the real efficiency boost kicks in. Both QuickBooks Online and Xero, they can connect right to your business bank accounts, your credit cards. They automatically pull in transactions. That cuts down manual data entry by a massive amount. And because it's cloud, your reports are always live, always up to date. You can check your cash flow instantly, whether you're home or, traveling.
I think I saw a stat in the sources about that, about the time savings. Is it significant?
It really is, yeah. Think about this. The sources mentioned that a big chunk, 75% of QuickBooks customers, say it actually saves them time compared to whatever you were doing before. That's not just a little efficiency gain. That's potentially hours back in your week.
Yeah.
Hours you could spend, well, maybe not doing admin.
Getting time back is massive. Okay, finance is sorted, portable. What about managing customers, the sales side of things, when you're on the move?
Right, that's where the cloud CRM tools come into play. HubSpot and Zoho CRM are the names that often come up as strong examples here.
Okay, so less about the spreadsheets, more about the people and the deals.
Exactly. These tools are built for managing your contacts, your leads, potential customers, and tracking your ongoing sales deals, all remotely. You can see your whole sales pipeline, log calls you made, update where things are at, check on deal progress. Doesn't matter where you are physically.
How do the CRM companies themselves talk about this location thing? Was there a specific quote that jumped out?
Yeah, Zoho CRM had a great line that really sums it up. They basically said, with their service, all you need is an internet connection. That single phrase just captures the freedom, right? Freedom from servers, from installs, upgrades. Your whole sales and client system is just there, accessible.
And yeah, these CRMs usually plug into other tools too, like email, marketing stuff, and they nearly always have mobile apps so you can check things on your phone.
Okay, let's make this concrete. How do these tools, QuickBooks, Xero, HubSpot, Zoho, actually let you run the day-to-day stuff from anywhere?
Okay, let's walk through some key operations. First up, invoicing and payments.
Which used to mean printing stuff out, envelopes, stamps, very stuck in one place.
Totally. And that's just gone here. With tools like Xero or QuickBooks Online, you can whip up a professional invoice and email it instantly. Like, finish a call, send the invoice right then and there, whether you're on cafe Wi-Fi in, I don't know, Boston or Bali. They can even automate payment reminders. It cuts down delays, gets you paid faster, and zero paper involved. And expense tracking. That shoebox of receipts feels like the total opposite of a portable setup.
Yeah. Thankfully, the shoebox can go. These tools, they have mobile apps. You snap a picture of a receipt, boom, it's uploaded and recorded. Combine that with the bank feeds pulling data automatically. Expense tracking becomes almost background noise no matter where you actually spent the money.
And because it's all syncing up in the cloud.
You get live, updated access to your crucial financial reports, P&L, balance sheet, cash flow login from any device, anywhere, and see where things stand. It's honestly like having a virtual finance department working 24/7. Instant insights.
Okay, shifting over to the client side. How does managing those relationships work remotely with a CRM?
Well, your entire customer list, their history with you, interactions, any open deals, all that information lives securely in the cloud in something like HubSpot or Zoho. So you can pull up a client's details, maybe log a call you just finished, check their status from your laptop in a co-working space, or even quickly on your phone while you're waiting for something. A new lead comes in for your website, bam, it shows up in the CRM. You can jump on it right away wherever you happen to be.
And if you're not just a solo act, if you have a team or maybe you work with freelancers.
Yeah, that's a really key advantage because all that client info, all the sales activity, it's centralized. It's updated in real time in the cloud. Everyone on your team, no matter where they are, is looking at the same picture. It makes collaborating on client work or sales stuff super smooth, even across different time zones.
Speaking of sales, how do you keep tabs on the overall pipeline, the performance, when you're not all gathered around a whiteboard in an office?
The CRMs give you these visual sales pipelines, dashboards.
Yeah.
You can access them from anywhere. See new leads, track deals moving through stages, see what's closed, revenue numbers. You get full visibility into your sales funnel live. The Zoho source specifically made the point that going remote doesn't mean losing track of sales. The data is always right there. You can keep monitoring, keep pushing deals forward from wherever with total clarity.
And this collaboration extends beyond just your immediate team, right? Like working with your accountant.
Oh, definitely. These cloud platforms are great for working with external folks. QuickBooks Online, for example, lets your accountant securely log into your actual account. They work with your live data. It completely gets rid of that clunky old process of emailing files back and forth, making sure everyone's on the latest version. It's just current.
Okay, this all sounds fantastic in theory, powerful stuff, but does it really work? Are people actually running businesses this way successfully?
This is where it gets really convincing. The sources aren't just talking concepts. They give us these really vivid, real-world examples. Entrepreneurs genuinely ditching the office for, much cooler locations.
Okay, hit me with some proof. Who's doing it?
All right, first example. George, the surfing CPA, an accountant. This guy deliberately moved his life to a remote island in Indonesia. Why? He wanted to surf more. Seriously. He closed his physical offices, moved his entire accounting practice online.
Whoa, a remote Indonesian island. That sounds like the ultimate internet challenge.
You'd think so, but he makes it work. Apparently his main internet is often just tethering his laptop to his phone's 4G. And he runs his whole accounting business using cloud stuff like Xero, which he calls his favorite accounting software, and accessing Australia's online tax system. He's doing tax planning, advice, the works, completely remotely from like a beach bungalow. His story perfectly illustrates his own quote from the sources. You really do not need to be tied to any physical location. I mean, if you can run a complex accounting business from a surf spot on mobile data, think what's possible elsewhere.
That's genuinely wild. And inspiring. What about other types of businesses, not just accountants?
Yeah, the sources also profile folks like the traveling freelancer. This is a super common model for consultants, digital nomads. The example given is a marketing consultant traveling all over Europe. She uses QuickBooks Online for all the money stuff, invoicing clients, tracking her expenses as she goes, sending bills from a cafe in Paris, snapping pics of train tickets for expenses. knowing it'll all sync up later.
And managing the actual client work while juggling travel.
That's where her CRM comes in, HubSpot in this case. She uses it to keep track of all her client projects, leads, communications, tasks, all the client history, proposals, next steps accessible on her laptop or even phone right before a Zoom call, no matter which city she woke up in. The setup lets her really focus on the client work and, actually enjoy the travel, see the sights, while the admin kind of runs itself in the background.
And you mentioned retail too. How does that work remotely?
Yes, the online retailer nomad. This person runs a small online shop selling handmade goods through an e-commerce site, and they travel internationally for big chunks of the year. Key thing is they've integrated their online store directly with Xero. So sales data, expenses, even inventory levels flow automatically into their accounting, gives them a real-time view of their finances from anywhere.
And customer service, orders.
They use Zoho CRM for that, handling customer questions, tracking orders, managing communications. And the beauty is both Xero and Zoho work on any device. So they can be checking sales numbers in an airport lounge, approving a purchase order while sitting by a pool, answering a customer email from a cabin somewhere. The business keeps running, keeps growing while they're exploring the world. It's that digital nomad entrepreneur life. So yeah, you see it across the board. Service providers like George, freelancers like the consultant, online retailers. This cloud-powered, location-independent thing, it's proving viable for lots of different small businesses.
Okay, beyond just the coolness factor of working from, poolside, what are the hard business benefits here? Why really do this?
The advantages are pretty compelling, and they go way beyond just lifestyle points. First, and maybe the biggest one, ultimate flexibility. You get just unparalleled control over where you work, when you work. You can design your schedule around your life, your passions, family stuff, not the other way around. Your office is literally in your backpack. It frees you from the 9 to 5, from being tied to one place. That can have a huge positive impact on work-life balance.
And flexibility often translates into saving money, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Cost savings can be significant. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially zero office rent. No utility bills for an office. No need to buy and maintain servers or other expensive IT hardware. The cloud software itself, it's subscription-based, often with really affordable options for small businesses. Plus, you save on commuting. And if you grow, you can hire people from anywhere, maybe tapping into talent in places with lower living costs. Like that Xero quote said, cloud software can save your business time and money. It's just leaner, less overhead.
And the efficiency piece, that seems like a major perk too.
Huge. We touched on it, but improved efficiency and automation is massive. These tools are built to make things smoother. QuickBooks and Xero automate bank feeds, recurring invoices. CRMs like HubSpot and Zoho can automate follow-ups, task assignments. You end up spending less time on the repetitive admin grind and more time on work that actually grows the business, or, enjoying that flexibility. Plus, having that real-time data cash flow, sales status, means you can make decisions faster, smarter. It really can feel like having support staff, but it's just you and the apps.
And the collaboration aspect we talked about.
Yeah, that falls under collaboration without borders. With everything living in the cloud, working with colleagues, contractors, your accountant, it's seamless. Everyone's looking at the same up-to-date info, securely online, no more emailing confusing file versions back and forth. And it works across devices, computer, tablet, phone, keeping everyone connected and productive wherever they are.
Lastly, does this model open up bigger opportunities, wider reach?
Absolutely. It enables global reach. Operating remotely means you're not limited by geography anymore, not in who you sell to or who you hire. Cloud e-commerce platforms and CRMs make selling worldwide much easier, managing those international clients digitally. And you can hire talent from anywhere on the planet. It really widens the horizons for business growth.
So summing up the benefits, it's not just about being more flexible and saving cash. A remote, cloud-run business can actually be more efficient, more collaborative, and open up global markets. Sound incredibly agile, freeing.
That's it exactly. Agile and freeing. It's about removing those old physical limits that used to hold small businesses back.
Okay. We've painted a pretty rosy picture. But it can't all be perfect Wi-Fi and beautiful sunsets, right? What are the real practical challenges here?
You're right to ask. The tech makes it possible, definitely. But there are absolutely hurdles. The good news, though, is the sources suggest they're usually manageable if you plan for them.
Internet has to be the big one. What if the Wi-Fi is just bad?
Yeah, that's probably the top worry for anyone thinking about this. Planning is everything. Research locations beforehand, look for places known for good connectivity, check out co-working space options, make sure your Airbnb or hotel has decent reviews for its Wi-Fi, and critically, always have a backup. Usually that means a mobile hotspot device or just tethering your laptop to your phone's data plan. Remember George, the surfing CPA? He's running his business on 4G tethering from a remote island. If he can manage, a mobile backup is a pretty solid plan B most places.
And what if it just cuts out right in the middle of something?
Most modern cloud apps are actually designed for that. They handle brief outages pretty well. Often stuff you do offline will just sync up when you get connection back. For really crucial things, maybe download reports or data you know you'll need when you do have a solid connection. And sometimes the backup is just walk into the cafe down the street that has better Wi-Fi. Scheduling your really important data-heavy work for times you know you'll be stable is also just smart planning.
Okay, what about security? Using public Wi-Fi for business finances or client data, that feels risky.
It's a super valid concern, and it definitely requires you to be careful. Now, the big cloud providers, QuickBooks, Xero, HubSpot, Zoho, they invest heavily in security. Bank-level encryption, secure servers, automatic backups, all that.
But it's not just up to them, is it? The sources said we have a role too.
Totally. Security is a shared thing. As the user, you absolutely have to take steps. Number one, always use a VPN, a virtual private network on public Wi-Fi. It encrypts your traffic, makes it way harder for anyone to snoop. Number two, enable two-factor authentication, 2FA, on everything. Adds a huge layer of protection to your logins. Use strong, unique passwords for every service. Get a password manager. Seriously. And yeah, maybe don't do your most sensitive banking on completely open, unsecured Wi-Fi at the airport. Most tools also let you see login history or log out devices remotely if you lose something. Taking these basic precautions massively reduces the risk from those cyber gremlins.
Okay, last one, the human side. How do you actually manage work-life balance? How do you stay disciplined when your office is also your vacation spot?
Yeah, this isn't tech, but it might be the most crucial piece for making this work long-term. When work is always just there, accessible 24/7, the lines can get incredibly blurry. You can easily fall into either overworking because you're always on or underworking because, hey, look, a beach.
So what's the solution there?
It really boils down to being intentional, setting clear boundaries, discipline. Successful remote folks talk a lot about routines, using a calendar, a task list, whatever works for you, to block out specific work time versus leisure time. Finding dedicated spots to work, even if it's just a specific corner of your rental, or using co-working spaces can help trigger that work mode. And maybe the most important bit, actually logging off. Force yourself to disconnect and enjoy where you are. It's about planning your work and planning your fun and having the discipline to follow through on both. That way, you get the business results and the lifestyle benefits. The best of both worlds, truly.
So yes, there are challenges, internet, security, self-discipline, but they sound manageable. Things you can plan for, build habits around, use tools for.
Exactly. And for a lot of people, the massive upsides, the flexibility, the efficiency, the cost savings, make tackling those challenges absolutely worthwhile.
So wrapping up, this idea, ditching the office, running your business from almost anywhere, that beach, that cabin, it's not just a nice image anymore.
No, it's a real, viable business model. And it's powered by this accessible cloud tech. Tools like QuickBooks Online, Xero for the finances, HubSpot, Zoho CRM for clients and sales, they provide the engine room, letting you operate effectively without being chained to a desk.
And the examples prove it's not just for some tiny niche. Freelancers, consultants, service businesses, e-commerce sellers, lots of different small businesses can potentially make this work if they embrace it. Your office really can just be your backpack.
Yeah, the sources show that community of successful digital nomads, remote entrepreneurs, it's growing fast. People are managing finances from islands, closing deals from cafes, supporting customers from Airbnbs all over the world. It's happening.
And they're getting that amazing flexibility, saving money, working more efficiently, while also being smart about managing the hurdles like internet and security.
So if this is sparking any ideas for you, maybe you dip your toe in. You don't have to sell everything and move to Bali tomorrow. Start smaller. Maybe just move your accounting to the cloud first. Or try working remotely from a different city for a week. Test out your setup.
You might be really surprised just how much you can get done with essentially a laptop and the right apps.
Yeah, ultimately the big takeaway here is how these cloud tools have fundamentally cut the cord to the traditional office. They've empowered even the smallest businesses with serious capabilities accessible from pretty much anywhere.
So the world really can be your oyster for your business and your life. This untethering, it opens up this huge new landscape of possibilities for how you work, where you live. What could that look like for you? And hey, if you do end up taking conference calls from the beach, seriously, don't forget the sunscreen.